Up, guys? Python here, finally back. It does feel good, even though it was a little bit of a rough night for the New York Rangers. It does feel good to be back making hockey videos because I can't stand the stupid fucking Mets. Can't stand that shit anymore. Not a good night by any stretch of the imagination, but it is an exhibition at the end of the day, so I'm not going to be flipping my shit. I'm not going to be throwing my remote, flipping my desk over. I'm not going to be going absolute ape shit over a exhibition loss. I'm not going to be crying about this one, and I'm not going to lose sleep over a exhibition loss. Was it pretty at any points of the game? Yeah, actually the Rangers, I thought, really did a great job in the first half of this game, and I thought that they didn't even play bad the entire game as long as it was 5-on-5. The power play was awful in my opinion. The power play went 0 for 3, and they did have some good puck cycling going on, but they never put any high risk chances or competitive shots on net throughout that entire fucking power play, or the entire 3 power plays, I should say. They didn't get any good chances. You had Kreider throwing some weak shot while skating into the zone, threw that one right into the goalie. I don't know who the goalie was at the time for the Islanders. It's the preseason. I'm not going to really go in depth with the opposing teams, but of course with the Rangers, since I know the damn roster, I'm going to go in depth with who had a good game, who had a bad game. But the first 10 minutes of this game, I thought was all Rangers. They completely dominated, and I thought that they were going to take complete control of this game with the way they were playing. You're talking about keeping the puck in the offensive zone, good puck movement, winning board battles, doing the little things right. You have Barclay Goodrow looking excellent, making some great plays around the boards. And then you had, I believe it was Hedor Kravtsov, someone on that line, dishes a beautiful chance out. I believe it was Kravtsov, dishes a beautiful chance to Barclay Goodrow in front of the net, and he whiffs on that one. But overall, still, great game for them until Barclay Goodrow decided to get himself thrown out of this one, which does suck because you're in an exhibition game and you want to see, hey, what line combinations are we going to roll out with? Because we don't know. New coach, new systems, new everything. You're new to the team. You don't have a spot on the team. So to figure that out, you need to be playing games, and to get yourself thrown out of the game the way he did, it's just unfortunate. It really is unfortunate that Barclay Goodrow was thrown out of this one really early. So he ended the night early, and the entire Rangers team decided, I guess, to just say, hey, you know what? We're just going to give the Islanders a power play clinic, a power play practice, because the Rangers could not stay out of the box if their life depended on it. Brock Nelson gets the Islanders on the board first. This is before the power play, so this wasn't on the power play. Brock Nelson gets them on the board first. And then I thought that it was embarrassing, really embarrassing, the way Jarred Tinordi and Anthony Bitetto played this game. They looked so awful, especially on that Casey Cizikas goal on the power play. Oh my god, that was awful. They just looked awful defensively. They looked awful in their own zone, and it wasn't just one time. They were getting some great passes off. The Islanders were just throwing passes, cross crease passes left and right without anyone getting in front of that block in that thing. You're not winning hockey games that way. You're just not. And again, it's an exhibition, so things will get cleaned up. And either way, I don't expect Jarred Tinordi and Anthony Bitetto to be playing that often. But if we do see that defensive pair for 1 second of a hockey game during the season, we got some problems because they were awful. Terrible. And then how about Lafreniere, though, in the second period, doing a little move. I don't even know how to explain it. He goes forehand, backhand, dangling around. I don't know who it was. Gets a good shot off too on the backhand. Something to keep note of, considering we are looking for Lafreniere to take a big step, who, by the way, got almost 20 minutes of ice time. David Quinn would never. David Quinn would never. But I guess we're looking for small W's. It's an exhibition. So if you do want to take something of note, the Rangers did a lot better in the faceoff dot. They won in the faceoff dot a lot more, 54% to 46. Hey, you know what? We take the little victories, because that is something of note. And it is interesting with how many penalties the Rangers ended up taking this game, that the Islanders only had 23 shots on goal. That is something to keep note of, because the Rangers were they were up and down in their own zone, but also I think it's a combination of the fact that the Islanders power play is known to be one of the worst in the league. Their power play is really what holds that team back. And I think that's really something that you got to take into consideration with that. But at the same time, hey, our penalty kill last year was pretty freaking solid. But I thought that first penalty kill where Barclay Goodrow had a good chance. And how about that pass also from him up to Kreider to lead to a breakaway? Terrible shot by Kreider on that, by the way. Terrible shot. But Barclay Goodrow looked great. I really wish that we got to see a full 60 minutes of him in this game. Well, obviously not the full 60, because he's not going to be out there the entire game. He's going to obviously take shifts. But it would have been nice to see that third line, especially Barclay Goodrow, with the way he was playing, getting the 20 minutes of ice time that seemed like that line got. And how about Dryden Hunt? Dryden Hunt looked electric out there. My God, that guy was making great passes, dangling around defenders. He looked great. He had 4 shots on goal. How about that? This is a guy that, hey, maybe we're sleeping on a bit. Maybe we need to be penciling him into the lineup sometime soon, because Morgan Barron didn't have a terrible game. Kravtsov, I thought, had a pretty good game. I don't think anyone really had a bad game in the forward group. It really came down to Nordy and Potato as a defensive pair. Georgiev not coming up with some big saves when he could have easily. And then also, I know it's tough for me to say after getting shut out that the offense wasn't terrible, but they were putting up, so they were looking good. It's just that they didn't put enough good shooting chances. I was about to say good shots, I should say, just to keep it simpler. They didn't put high chance shots, high risk shots, whatever you want to say. They didn't put good shots on net at all. There were a couple times that they did, but it wasn't enough. But in terms of playmaking and just puck movement itself, they looked solid, the forward group, especially Hunt and Kravtsov. I thought those two really stood out to me for having great games. That's just me personally. And then how about Lafreniere getting a bit of PK action there tonight? Something to keep note of, because who would have thought that? And that was before Barclay Goodrow got himself kicked out of this one. So I didn't expect him to be getting any penalty kill action. Cal Clutterbuck also then in the second period scored, and Ross Johnson ended up getting the dagger there in the third period. Not a pretty game. You get torched by their fourth line. Come on. It's going to be interesting to see, because I'd imagine we're going to get in the next game, it's going to be Panarin, Strome, Kakko, Miller, and Trouba. I'm intrigued to see how that goes. But I think Hunt needs to get more looks here in these exhibition games. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by Hunt. Guy that went really under the radar as a signing. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued, especially after what I saw tonight. He was throwing hits too, blocking shots. There's not enough good things I could say about Hunt's game tonight. I'm so intrigued. Sucks that he can't play center though, huh? Because we could definitely he definitely have more of a place in the lineup, but we will have to see how Kevin Rooney does too in these exhibitions, right? Zibanejad went 63% in the face-off dot. That is huge considering Zibanejad has been notorious for not being one of the best centers in the face-off dot. Usually he's below 50%. Barron over 50% in the face-off dot. Something to keep note of because winning face-offs has not been easy for the Rangers, like I mentioned before. So if Barron if he can make a good impression, Kevin Rooney might have to look in the rear view mirror. He might have to look behind him because Morgan Barron's coming right there. Which, again, I thought he had a solid game as well. And Chytil did not look good in the face-off dot. I don't think Chytil should be playing center this year. I really want them to give Barclay Goodrow on that line, the center spot, and then just move Chytil over to the wing because Chytil on face-offs is no. 36% though. But how about the amount of face-offs they were winning on the power play there? And then you also had some interesting power play combinations. The first power play unit I pretty much predicted. Hunt obviously is not going to be playing first power play minutes, regardless if he makes a team or not. That's going to be Panarin's spot. It's just obviously Panarin was not playing because he's going to be in the next exhibition game, I'd imagine at least. But that was something that I kind of predicted. And then the second unit, I believe, before Goudreau got thrown out, it was him, Kravtsov, Gauthier was there, I believe, and you had Niels Lundqvist quarterback in that, which I thought was intriguing as well because, like I mentioned in my season preview video, don't be surprised if he ends up potentially giving Trouba a run for his money on the power play there. And then I'm trying to think of who the last guy was on the power play. I believe it might have been Chytil. Or am I going crazy and I already named everyone? I don't know. Let me try to look as I just ramble here. But something that was kind of frustrating with this game that I was tweeting about was the fact that we saw what am I trying to say? The MSG feed the audio delay really pissed me off, if I'm being honest. That really did aggravate me the entire game. And it was Chytil on that power play. And then at MSG, apparently there were some scoreboard glitches. You have one, Vince Mercogliano tweeting Brett Howden and Blackwell were somehow reacquired by the Rangers. Yeah, no thanks. I'm way past those two. More so Brett Howden. But the Lance comments after the game, he ended up saying on Hunt, he said he was the guy that helped himself the most tonight, but overall he said they turned the puck over too much, which led to a lack of scoring chances, and they didn't play hard enough, which I agree. They were not winning enough board battles. They looked so sloppy after those first 10 minutes of the game. The first 10 minutes, they were completely annihilating the Islanders, and then all of a sudden, they took their foot off the gas, and once Barclay Goodrow got thrown out of the game, the tides turned completely, and I don't know what the hell happened, but they were a completely different team, and it was really ugly. And then Glenn also commented on the misconduct. He said, "There's no doubt it's a boarding penalty because the hit drew blood. It had to be evaluated to a 5-minute major," which, yeah, I mean, it was a penalty. I thought a game was a little excessive. I thought maybe a double minor would have been more fair, but at the end of the day, you just can't be taking that penalty either way. You can't be throwing a hit like that, taking that penalty in an exhibition. You got to be smarter than that in an exhibition, especially a guy that has won back-to-back Stanley Cups, has played a stupid amount of games. Come on. You know better. You know better. And you got to stay in this game. Like I said, this is about experiment. experimenting. This is about building chemistry. This is about seeing what you got. What's the new coach? Who are the new players? That's what it's all about. The new regime here. But in terms of the bottom six, with guys like Will Cooley, Carl Henriksen, Rempe, all of those guys, none of them really stood out to me, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't think really any of them had that great of games. Yeah, no one really stood out there. On the blue line, Fox, of course, was solid. Niels Lundqvist, the real deal Niels. How about him? He had some great passes. He had a scoring opportunity as well. I thought he had a solid game, and he's definitely going to he's definitely going to get a shot in the NHL. I don't have any doubt that he will be on the opening night roster. But in terms of anything else to mention, they definitely got to clean up the penalties. I mean, that is, you can't win a game. As we were saying all of last year, you're not winning a game taking that many penalties. You can't win a game taking that many penalties. And if we're going to see this and this becomes a habit, of course we got a problem. But I think it's just the fact that it's the first game and they're excited to play, especially a team like this, that the way the Rangers season ended last year with the Tom Wilson situation, with the way they missed the playoffs, with the injuries derailing them, a lot of these guys are hungry. A lot of them are hungry, and they wanted to get back out there. So I'm going to let it slide, but if we still have these penalty problems by the fourth, or even the third or fourth exhibition game, I'll start to get concerned then. I'll get concerned then, but I'm obviously not going to be concerned after one exhibition game. But not a great performance at all. I would have liked to have at least seen them get one goal, especially for the fans there. You were at that game. How you feeling about that? Sorry for you. And this is someone that said that I wanted to be at the game. If I was back home, I probably would have ended up going to the game. So I guess I dodged a bullet. But that is going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. And also don't forget, we do have the new phone line. If you do want to call in to give your reaction ever to future Ranger games, I usually tweet out after the game the phone number and everything, but it also is in the description if you want to. We didn't end up getting any calls. I didn't expect any for the preseason either way. Not a lot of people ended up watching the game. So, well, I'm a complete idiot because right after I finished recording and everything, New York Style DM me. Shout out to him. He's a loyal subscriber. That he did call in, and I didn't even notice it because the idiot I am, fucking stupid me, didn't even pay attention because I was looking in the complete wrong spot for where the audio file would be for where the calls go in. So with that being said, let's hear the call. I'm excited for this. I decided to add this to the channel, so more of you guys start calling in. Here we go.
I think the Rangers played really good tonight. Well, not really good. They had some mistakes, but other than that, I like the direction the team is going in.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I agree that there were some things that you could take away that were good, like seeing a guy like Dryden Hunt have the game that he did, like Kravtsov having the game that he did. There were some good takeaways, but there is also not a lot of good, especially with them not scoring any goals. So yeah, that I agree with that. I forgot the last part you said.
I like the direction the team is going in.
Oh yeah, the direction that the team is going. Yeah, it especially if we see what we saw in. Why did the brightness just randomly go down on here? Oh my god! Like using my laptop to record the audio, and then I have my camera to record my face. Obviously, my stupid looking face, but yeah, I think that the direction that the team is going in is great, especially if they play like they did in the first 10 minutes of the first period. That was insane hockey to watch. That was great hockey to watch, and it looked like they were going to have the game from the second the puck dropped. That's what it looked like until that until, like I keep saying, the Barkley Goudreau penalty where he got kicked out of the game. It's just that completely changed it for whatever reason, and I don't know why it did, but it did, and it's just unfortunate. But yes, I agree. The direction that the team is going in, you're seeing that Goliath style hockey, especially the first 10 minutes. Like I keep saying, it's electric to watch. I love it. So it is what it is. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.